In this tutorial, we'll be covering connections in the SnatchBot platform. Now, connections are really the lifeblood of a chatbot. They're what determine the flow and control what users see, when they see it, and how they see it. Having them set up properly and efficiently is absolutely critical to your chatbot being successful. So with that said, let's get into it. First, select My Bots from the left-hand menu, then select the chatbot that you want to work with. In this case, I'm using HealthBud. So, there are four main types of connections: quick replies, fallbacks, AI, and simple connections. I'll give you a walkthrough of each one. Quick replies are the ones you see in the little bubbles below a text bubble. They are probably the fastest way to move a user through and allows you to really keep people on rails and not send them writing different things that could be interpreted differently. They're extremely efficient and they're quick to make. For example, if I wanted to set another option, I would simply say, okay, let's say I want to take them to the calculator functionality. I could simply write calculator, enter, yes, and then with most connections, you're going to see them work with items and conditions. So they work on if-then functionality. So if the response to this interaction contains the whole world word calculator, then go to calculator. And I add that, and there we go. It's up there, and my user can instantly get to that chatbot from the first interaction. Now you can also add a fallback connection in the case that those conditions aren't met, in which case I would send them to where I would like to send them. Alternatively, you can add through a webhook. Now that allows you to send external notifications with details about user ID and other information whenever a specific part of the conversation is reached. Next, you have simple connection, which is extremely common in a more text-based chatbot. As you can see, it uses this very similar navigation and set of if-then parameters as the other connections. If response to this contains the whole word, and in this case, I'm able to write multiple keywords. They don't show up underneath the actual text bubble, but when users enter them, they will trigger a connection to a different block. So if I said in this one that I want to get to cardio, and it's going to connect them to the cardio block. And finally, we have AI connections. Now, an AI connection is what you would use when you have an NLP model in and you want to specify which specific one, whether it be an entity, the language that it would be in, and that specific NLP model that I want to use to send them to calculator, and I can also add a webhook. So as you can see, connections are very flexible and very simple, yet very powerful. It's important that you think about them strategically and test them as you're going and building to provide the most efficient flow that you can to your users. There's lots of ways to move them through, so try a few different ones and see what works best for your chatbot. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial. Hope it has you well on your way to building your best possible chatbot.